to work now. Oh!
Everybody, it's Durger time. Welcome back to another episode of Total Extreme Wrestling 2016 Billy Corgan's NWA. And we had a pretty good show last time. I think I was liking what happened. Pretty good attendance, pretty decent rating for what we're at and for who we're using. Was quite happy with it. And overall, I think they did pretty well. We still have some people in the wing we're waiting for. We're looking to get back Homicide, get Connor and Victor in. So we got some good hirings in the wing. Ironically, I feel like we were talking about it at some point, and I feel like real life did it before me, but we were talking about maybe getting Marty Scurll in now that he's unemployed, and lo and behold, what I see on my television is Marty Scurll in NWA, so I guess we gotta make it right and bring him in now, huh? We'll see what the lowest we can get him for is. 810. Let's say you'll never be lower than upper mid-carder. 780. I think that's fine. I have no problem with that. Give him a downside of 700. Obviously, he will be non-exclusive, which I'm assuming is probably what his deal is in the NWA right now. Anyways, I'd like to bring all of Villain Enterprises over, to be honest. So let me see. Well, we got Brody and he's exclusive PPA still right now. So is PCO, probably. Also exclusive bummer. Yeah, that's a bummer. We'll shortlist both. Would be fun to get them in. Well, I wonder when your contract is up. Is there a way to see it? I don't know if there is. Characters, physical popularity, employment history, to present, availability. He's exclusive PPA, so I shouldn't be able to even make a deal with him, right? I don't think. I don't know how that would work. Is it just because he's in his last month, maybe? Maybe that's what it is. That's probably what it is. They're probably both in their last month of their hiring. That's interesting. PCO is worth more than Marty Scurll. I don't know about that, but that's pricey. Really pricey for you. Yeah, that's fine. Downside's too low, huh? 10. Ugh, that's really. I want you to be past the torch. And you'll never be lower than mid-carder. That's still really pricey. I mean, we'll do it for now, just because I think it makes sense to bring them in. We're probably not going to use them a lot. We might find somebody else to join other than PCO, but we're also coming up to the Crockett Cup, and they won last year, so it would make sense to maybe put them in there as well. So we have Power in 6 days. We do have our alliance going on, so we can always pull people in as well. Right now, I have scheduled the Into the Fire pay-per-view. I don't know if I want to schedule anything for November. I like the idea of doing every other month, maybe, or every 2 to 3 months. But there is a gap between December and April. And I think what we're going to do is some kind of like alliance pay-per-view, where we'll do like a tournament of all the champions in the pay-per-view. I think that would be kind of a lot of fun. It'd be a cool, easy way to bring other people in. We do have an alliance title to win, and perhaps that is that's the prize, is the crowning of that that alliance title. Could be a lot of fun, but that'll be down the road. Right now we're building up towards Into the Fire, and then we'll look towards that. All right, let's go ahead and advance. I don't think we have anything outstanding to deal with, so we should just be able to put on a power episode, and hopefully it'll all go okay. All right, what have we got stopped for today? Okay, some of our negotiations are in, which is good. Marty Scurll says yes, and Brody King says yes. We're still waiting on PCO, Victor, Connor, taking an awful long time to get them in, which is unfortunate. We have 3 days left. I'm assuming Homicide's going to be upper mid-carder. Yeah. That's fine. We could set that up real quick. Who else did we pull in here? Brody King is probably going to be a mid-carder. All right, he's just not available yet. So I wonder, can I? This is probably the last month. It'll show me at the end of the... It's probably like a 30-day. He's probably same with Scurll. Probably just got out early. Scroll's upper mid-carder. What did we negotiate with him? Never lower than? Contract details. Marty Scurll. Did we not actually get any, Okay. We will do that then. I think that's A-okay. His heel works better. We'll keep him as a heel. Yeah, that'll work fine. All right, let's keep on going. All right, more in. We got Harper. We got Connor. We got PCO. All right. Does not become active another 7 days. That's fine. It's probably the same as, Brody King. I'm guessing, which is fine. So we'll have them for the next show. I think Connor will keep the name. Upper mid-carder. Wow. They might become our next tag team champions, to be honest. We just need Victor in. Okay, what do we got? And there's Victor. Cool. I think we're just going to steal their gimmick, to be honest, and we'll just keep them as the Ascension. I think I had said it in a previous video, but I love the Ascension. I thought it was such a good gimmick. I wasn't super thrilled with their wrestling necessarily, but I thought as a team, I thought they were interesting as all hell. And I just wonder why. I don't know what they did when they got to the main roster, but it just was bizarre to me. All right, so we got a hell of a good tag team division now. Look at this: Outlaw Inc. with Kingston, the Ascension, Von Erichs, Wildcards, with Thomas Latimer, who someone mentioned was what was his name? Bram, former husband of Charlotte Flair, but also he was he was what's his face in FCW, right? Kenneth Cameron, who was, I think, the leader of the Ascension. So we even have something like that to play on. If we want to break up this garbage team and maybe make a stable, we could always do that. Could be interesting. Do they show up as... Actually, also, we should look to see... Who do we have here? Twisted Sisters, but we don't have a women's tag team division. I'll pass on that. Street Kings, but, you know, a lot of these I don't think we need. Like, we already have Homicide, we don't need Hernandez. Natural Selection wouldn't be a bad option, but I wonder where Cage is at. Kimber Bombs, again, Allie, I think, is probably exclusive with AEW at this point. I'm not positive. Eric Rowan, we should put on a short list because their chemistry should not be denied, that we could probably do something interesting with them at some point. I'm not familiar with this tag team, but that name is fucking great. Chicks Using Nasty Tactics, an interesting acronym. That's a hell of an acronym. Where was that from? Man, that's great. Christ. Not bad. All right, let's move on over to Power. And let's see what we could do. I think we have some new interesting faces in the works. I might not bring Marty Scurll in right away. I might wait till the pay-per-view, but we'll see. All right, we do have a backstage incident to deal with. Oh boy, Gavin Loudspeaker and Homicide. It was wrestler. Homicide's holding wrestlers court. All right. Gavin Loudspeaker forgot to shake someone's hand, or no, to pick up a shared car rental. Homicide's holding court down, which is always good. Who do we have that's younger here that we want to... You know what? Sasha and Thunder Rosa would be a good building up. We have a strong friendship in the roster already. Alison Kay and Marty Bell are best friends. Strong friendship with Connor and Victor, and relationships. More relationships, the better our rating will be. No effect this time. That's fine. Brody King and PCO, yeah, your contracts, I think, for another 7 days or something like that. And that's fine. I don't think we have any pre-show speeches. No. So we are going to be at NWA Power Studio. We could fit 2,000. We're expecting 1,700. It's a lot bigger than the actual studio, but that's fine. It'll be good for us for now. Let's go ahead and let's run it, and let's see how this... I think this is our second episode of Power, I guess, technically. Maybe third of the new Power setup, and we'll see where we go. I have to make some more storylines, too, I think, now that we have some people showing up. So we'll see where that comes in. All right, we're ready to go. Pretty packed show, 65 minutes and 2 pre-shows. Let's go ahead and see how it looks. So I start off with 2 pre-show matches, just kind of seeing where people are in terms of ring chemistry, and to make sure that people aren't going to be too upset if we don't show them. Typically for, I think, TV shows, they don't get upset if they're not on there for a while, but like you have to put them on there a little bit. It's not like events where they get really mad. But I do want to see where we are at with Homicide and Kingston, and where some of these other guys are kind of in-ring performance levels are. It's a pretty good match, actually. Outlaw Inc. defeat Eli Drake and Caleb Connolly. Caleb Connolly is a weak link, but not by much. 35 isn't actually that bad. Something we might want to look into, maybe developing him in the future. Homicide, Eddie Kingston, and Eli Drake all about even at 54-55. Probably one of our stronger tag teams, actually, looking at it. The combo here was not bad at all. Much better than I thought it was going to be, even. Not as good, but I wanted to see where Thunder Rosa and Kimberly's chemistry was, and it's not really there. Little heat, subpar wrestling. Kimberly defeats Thunder Rosa in a pre-show match. What's great is that Gally and Gavin Loudspeaker apparently working really well together in an announce table, which gives us a bonus. I wish I had the dirt sheet on. I would like to see what that actually does for us. I've actually never seen that particular commentary. I usually see like the announcing gave the match a boost or something like that. They're both about even, but their in-ring performance is a little lacking. We probably need to find a strong competitor against Sasha, because I don't think anyone here is going to be believable at this point. I don't know. We start to show off with a women's division match, Sasha versus Alison Kay. It's not bad, but so Alison Kay is 25, Sasha's 54. Kay was really off her game. Did get the show to a strong start, and then who could take on Sasha Banks advance and gain heat? Though that is really the question I'm asking behind the scenes too, because I don't know if I have anybody believable that could take her on in terms of in-ring performance. We'll have to look out in the roster and see if there's anybody, or even somebody we could pull in that could believably handle her. Sasha and Alison Kay are both improving in different skills. D- is not horrendous for the start of the show, so I could ask for worse, I suppose. Afterwards, we have David Marquez doing his debuted gimmick of staff member, got a great rating. It's a post-match interview. Banks just says that nobody's strong enough to face her, and the roster is pathetic. I don't disagree. It does okay. D-, not horrendous. I mean, Marquez is holding his own. I think I need to up his rating for his microphone skills, though. They seemed a little light for a commentator. I was kind of shocked, actually, but I think it was maybe just an oversight on the mod maker's part. Afterwards, we have a tag team match with the Von Erichs versus the Wildcards. It's fine. We gave Von Erichs a win against the Wildcards in 8 minutes. Marshall Von Erich defeated Royce Isaacs, the weak link of the two. Latimer carried the match in terms of in-ring performance. Marshall and Ross exactly the same at 34, Isaacs at 26, and Latimer at 45. This is a gnarly match here. We do advance the storyline, gain no heat, but don't lose it either. And we give Von Erichs a win. We're trying to boost our popularity as much as we can. Maybe this is a good way to do it. Afterwards, we have a post-match. Latimer and Royce Isaacs get into a bit of a fight, a little bit of a mild argument, maybe showing some cracks in that tag team as they argue back and forth. Latimer's accusing Isaacs of fucking up and pushes him, walks away in anger, kind of showing some seeds of dissent within the ranks of their tag team, and maybe possibly giving us an excuse to break them up in the future if we need to. It doesn't do great. E-, really bad promo here. Just neither really doing much here for us at all. Afterwards, this is a much better rating. We have a backstage vignette, I guess you would call it. Josephus shows back up in his robes with two shadowy figures behind him, and he says that the order will be rebuilt. The cult of light has not been diminished, and that he has found new acolytes to carry on the message, and that those that were non-believers and those that betrayed him will pay. And out through the shadows comes the ascension, Connor and Victor. Seems like a good fit to me. Seemed like Josephus could be possibly a good manager for them. Josephus was very underwhelming, though. I need to boost his stats up. I feel like for where he's at, I need to give him something. And if you guys got a recommendation for where his stats should be, 'cause I don't know. I always feel like he's very understated in this game, and I like to tweak him. I'm not saying that he needs to be significantly better, but like he should be better at microphone work. He should be a better menace. His ring work is fine. I feel like he's very underrated, and I need to find the right level for him. So if you guys got recommendations of where maybe I need to put him stat wise, let me know. Even if you just gave me broad strokes like A, B, C, D. I have some ideas, but I don't necessarily want to overvalue him. Maybe I just like his gimmick more than his talent can actually last. Victor debuts, gets a great rating for his gimmick. Connor gets an above average for his gimmick. Got the crowd hotter. Crowd was excited to see the Ascension and hopefully being used well in the NWA. Yes, what is this one? What are we turning him to? Current alignment is face, which is stupid. Complete gimmick change. That's fine. Oh boy, he got an awful rating. What a bummer. Turn was a success. We got to change his gimmick, though. We got to find something better for him. All right, we have an angle. Nick Aldis is getting interviewed by David Marquez, and he's talking about being a number one contender and how he wants to reclaim the NWA World Championship from Tim Storm. How Tim Storm isn't properly representing what the NWA should be about, and on this new show with a new opportunity, he really needs to be in the spotlight. Now, remember, unlike in the real world, Aldis for us is a squeaky clean baby face, at least for now. So. He's trying to be like the fan favorite and the corporate champion, but in the positive light, not the negative light. In between, James Storm shows up and kind of pushes him aside and says, it's bullshit. Nick Aldis has had every opportunity, and he still gets more because he's Billy Corgan's friend. And he demands tonight that he gets a shot with Nick Aldis, and that he deserves to be number one contender, and that if he wins, he should become the next contender in line for the NWA World Championship. They agree to have a match there. Nick Aldis accepts all comers. Marquez was struggling in the commentary between the two of them, but overall, we got a pretty good rating. Can't complain about that. We have a little just very basic exhibition match. Hillman Jr. versus Ricky Starks. Starks loses in 6 minutes. Pillman quickly defeats him with a TDT. Got the crowd buzzing. Actually blew them off. This was a steal the show match. I think Pillman looked really good out there, but Starks was very underperforming. Afterwards, we have an angle with Icarus is doing a Carl's Jr. promo backstage as the Carl's Jr.'s North American champion. And the Ascension attack him and whip him around the backstage, just throwing him into walls and stuff like that. Clearly doing the bidding of Josephus and possibly attacking Icarus in retribution for leaving the cult, which has now basically been fractured and disbanded, but making a big statement that the cult is back in a big way and that Icarus has betrayed it. We don't know if this is a one-time thing, as if this is just a basic retribution or what, but Icarus does get laid out pretty cleanly here. Nobody's improving or anything with their segment. Gets a D43, not bad. Announcers afterwards put over fact that the main event tonight will in fact be James Storm, Nick Aldis for the opportunity to be number one contender at Into the Fire. The announcement does fine. We don't need a pre-booking match, but thank you. And finally, we have Nick Aldis versus James Storms. It's a decent match. James Storms gets defeated in 11 minutes. Nick Aldis basically, I could say retains, doesn't retain anything, but Nick Aldis does get the win, does become number one contender officially. We have James Storm at a 47, Nick Aldis at a 50. Not bad for either. 52, I would have liked a little bit higher of a rating here. We were spoiled in our last go by having people like Will Ospreay and then Cody and things like that we could have bumped up our rating higher. It seems like a D+ is about where we're going to sit. So we might have to look at where we can develop our main eventers to maybe boost that rating a little bit more. It's going to give us about a D-. D-. So 39, it's not horrendous, honestly. But, the game, how it works is it'll give us, I believe, the last match, the main event, will be rated the most in terms of how this rating is, and then it'll also rate the best promo, and then like an average of the matches. So some of the matches kind of hurt us a little bit. Some of these segments got really bad. This probably hurt us the most, honestly, is the Latimer Isaacs post match. We probably would have been like a D+, which is kind of the baseline of where I would want to be at this point with where we have the roster. I mean, I don't believe pre-show or post-shows affect the rating at all. It just affects the crowd. So you could always do a pre-show to stack it and, get the crowd hyped and things like that. It does increase our popularity in 17 regions. General feeling is that NWA doesn't have enough interesting storylines going on, and I think it's true. I don't think we advanced very many here, unfortunately. We have a ton written down, but I guess we didn't really trigger any of those, unfortunately. Maybe one or two, not enough. I think we need a minimum of 3 for our level. So something we'll have to keep in mind that we have to do that. It's hard to do with only 60 minutes, but it can be done. Okay, let's see. Before we wrap it up here, let's see what we got. YouTube's still unhappy with the quality. To get a .13 is not bad. Anderson does not like Josephus, and James Storms does not like Ricky Starks. I feel like Ricky Starks is also very underrated here. Like, you don't tell me that Ricky Starks only has an average entertainment and camera. I feel like that's very wrong. His in-ring performance seems fine, but that seems shocking to me. I think we have to adjust some of those and tweak them. Let me know where you think those should be, and maybe I'll take some of your guys' advices and set these right. Josephus, the same thing. Only average for entertainment seems a little odd. I feel like he should be a little bit higher in terms of just promo and entertainment value. Maybe not microphone, but entertainment. I mean, it was an okay show. We do need to get Luke Harper on the roster as well. We haven't done anything with him, but I think we might debut him at Into the Fire as Brody Lee. I think that might be where we go towards at that point. But we have about, 3 more episodes of Power before Into the Fire. So we got a lot of time to build up some storylines. We do have a ton of storylines. So we just need to actually do any of these. Icarus, we didn't quite capitalize on. There's some elements here that we didn't quite do. So we have to make sure to remember to trigger these during the next episode of Power. But that is it for me today, guys. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.